What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, and welcome to Lactic Acid, the podcast where the takes are fresh, the ideas are ripe, and that makes us the best in the bunch. I am your host, Dominique Smith, and I am so excited for you all to be taking this journey with me. This new platform is something that I am truly pumped about, truly excited about, truly blessed to have. And I am excited for the new people I'm going to meet along the way. I'm excited for the people that you are going to meet along the way in this journey, in this through this podcast, rather. This episode is the inaugural episode. I'm just going to give you kind of an outlook on what the podcast is about, things that you can expect, give a little history lesson about how it came to be. And yeah, it's not going to be too long. This will more than likely be the shortest episode on this podcast. And listen, that's a good thing. You're going to hear a lot of inspiring guests. You're going to hear from incredible athletes, journalists, storytellers, all the above. I'm super pumped. I hope you can tell. And yeah, let's just get right into it. This is something that I am, again, truly, truly excited for. This podcast is going to be more than a podcast, essentially. I'm going to mention it later on in the episode, but a website is being built, Lactic Acid Podcast.org. And I may have missed that one. Definitely have to go back and check, but things are still in the works right now. We're finishing up everything. Got to give a shout out to my boy Ryan, one of the most talented guys that I've gotten a chance to work with, Ryan Arntz. And if I mispronounce your name, man, forgive me. You'll hear about him, once everything is up. So, if you have, needs with editing, with websites, all of the above, definitely hit him up. And I'm going to try to move out the way. Yeah, you see that cool graphic right there? That was made by my friend Catherine Burgess, who is the best graphic designer in the game. You can debate your mama on that one. Incredibly talented. She not only did this logo, but she, kind of came up with the theme about the fresh takes and the ideas. And she also created some cool stickers. You should go on her Instagram page and follow her. It's Catherine Burgess on Instagram. You can see all of her work there, and there's a link in her page where you can see the websites that she's worked on. She's worked with incredible athletes, famous athletes, and great organizations, great programs. She is the best, like I said, the best in the game, and I am truly grateful for her support and obviously the incredible job that she did, creating everything. But like I was saying, you're going to hear from the people who really, really make up the sport and some of the people that you may not know behind the scenes that make this great sport of track and field and running in general, what it is. We're going to have not just track and field athletes, but road racing, cross country, endurance sports, all of that is going to be on there. I'm going to learn something, and I know you guys are going to learn about it and learn more than you knew as well. But we want to tell the stories on this podcast, the stories that you don't necessarily hear. The wonderful thing about sports and life is that there are athletes outside of their profession. And what I mean by that is they're people, rather. They're people, just like you and me. And you're going to hear some inspiring stories, and you're going to learn more about who they are, what they're interested in, things that they like, things that they stand for. You're going to hear inspiring stories, testimonies, all of that. And it's something that you're going to enjoy. And it's like I said, it's not just the athletes. There's so many people that make this sport and just the art of running great. You're going to hear from fellow podcasters. You're going to hear from storytellers. You're going to hear from content creators, graphic designers, videographers, photographers. It's going to be incredible. You're going to hear from college athletes. And so I'm really excited to bring that to you. I'm excited. There will be a section on the website where you will get a chance to read some stuff as well. I'm going to be writing some articles and interviewing some people and, bringing that in a true journalism style, more of your traditional journalism style of a straightforward article, with, as many sources that I can find for that particular article, more so than a blog. So definitely stay tuned for that. Like I said, I got you. I promise that. And you're going to leave fulfilled every time you listen to an episode, every time you watch an episode, every time you read an article. So a little bit about how this got started. I was blessed, and like I said, I'm not going to give too much away in this episode, but I was blessed to be a part of a group called the Magic Boost program. It was sponsored by Hayward Magic and some wonderful people out there. A gentleman by the name of Chris Chavez, he was a part of it. He's a journalist, one of the best, if not the best, covering the sport of track and field in the game. Make sure you give him a follow. He will be on the show as well. Um, and so, yeah, I got an opportunity to be a part of that, met some incredible people, some of the best storytellers, best journalists, former athletes, current athletes. It was incredible. Got a chance to do extensive training via Zoom for 8 weeks. Got a chance to take in and soak in knowledge from just some of the best in the sport. And the objective was, how do we advance the sport and advance it in a universal manner? Meaning, how do we diversify it? How do we diversify the people that cover it? How do we diversify the topics? How can we be more creative? How can we, elevate this great sport? And it was truly a blessing to be a part of it, a blessing to be chosen. And our final exam, if you will, we got a chance to go out to the Nike Prefontaine Classic. We were there for a week. And we got a chance to meet some people, do some coverage and all of that. And it was something. I miss it. I certainly miss the weather. I'm here in Florida where it's hot. It's pretty nice now, but it was one thing to wake up in the 40s then compared to, being in like the 80s. So and obviously, just learn an incredible amount and left inspired. That inspiration led to this. So I was on a plane and I remember just like, oh man, like I need to get back into track. I need to get back into track and field. I need to get back into track and field. And I had prior experience rather, working with an organization called Florida Runners. And I'm on the plane and I don't remember. I think I was like over Denver or Colorado, somewhere in the west to Midwest. I know Colorado's, west, but I just remember praying like, God, I need to get back into it. And he said, do it. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, okay, I will just like Nike, just do it. And I, was led by his grace, and he gave me the game plan of what this should look like. And that's how it came about. And I was stunned, just like, oh wow, like this is really happening and stuff like that. So like I said, it is a podcast for everyone. It's a people podcast. It's something that everyone will enjoy, and I'm truly grateful for everyone who's taken the journey. And I promise you, you're going to leave, like I said earlier, inspired. You're going to leave motivated, and you're going to learn new things. You're going to laugh. I like to think I'm funny. Actually, I know I'm funny, but you're definitely going to laugh. You're definitely going to enjoy it, and it's something that's going to be worth your time. This is going to be available, obviously, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we're going to work to get this on all of the platforms. If you can, if you haven't already, which you probably haven't, but follow me on Instagram, follow our page on Instagram, rather, at Lactic Acid with Dominique Smith, or Lactic Acid Podcast with Dominique Smith. Be sure to follow Lactic Acid _podcast on Twitter. And that's where we will be, communicating a lot of, the new episodes. And obviously we will link it back to the website and get everything going where you can subscribe and then get emails and all of that stuff. So just be patient with me as we get it all set up, but it's going to be, worth your while. And so, yeah, that is pretty much, the inaugural episode. And, I guess, in closing, a little bit about me and why I'm so passionate is just, I've always loved journalism. I've always loved writing, and I've always loved telling the stories of people. And that's something that I knew I was going to be a sports journalist when I was in the third grade. I just never knew what path it would be on. I didn't know the ins and outs. I didn't know the heartaches, the trials, X, Y, and Z. But this sport was something that just I gravitated towards. I competed in high school, was not very good. Uh, I coached a little bit, and then it was getting the opportunity to cover it and cover the athletes and cover the unique pieces that make this sport, the coaches. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a unique story, and everyone has a story that's worth telling. And that's been my passion, and that's what I hope to bring to you all through this podcast and just through this network, through this avenue. Man, it's going to be something very special, and I'm excited to grow with you, grow along. And you can watch me grow. You can watch me partake in eating healthier foods like this is bananas. You know, I'm a fried chicken fanatic, but you know what? Every now and then you got to put the bucket down and you got to pick up a piece of fruit, and you have to grow and you have to eat the proper fruit to get rid of the lactic acid. I told you I have a funny sense of humor. That wasn't funny. I was trying to be, but it was an L that I will for sure bounce back on. But listen, again, once again, thank you guys so much for the support, that I pray that you will give me. And definitely stay tuned. Lactic acid is just starting, and it's not going to be something you want to miss.